Rescue from Gilligan's Island.
Can't believe it. After 15 years, we're finally rescued.
A TV movie made from a cancelled comedy that eventually was made syndication king until Friends. Today, we will analyze and review this movie in Just Review. Salutations, I'm Doc Analog, Doctor of Analog. You know what I'm referencing in every single episode I've done? Well, in the 2 reviews I've done so far.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale.
You can thank this show. Gilligan's Island is a semi-funny sitcom that was cancelled due to studio politics, but then became the most ran show in the world until Friends was made. But before they were syndicated gold, they had to be brought back from the dead of cancellation cemetery with Rescue from Gilligan's Island. This film is what truly brought Gilligan's Island back. It was originally canceled by CBS president because his wife loved the show Gunsmoke, a Western, and CBS already hated Gilligan's Island, so they killed 2 birds with 1 stone. But the show creator, Sherwood Schwartz, didn't give up trying to revive the show, only getting a cartoon, but in 1978, Sherwood was able to make this movie with the help of NBC, which started a second life for the series, with 2 more TV movies, another animated series, cameos of all kinds, and running nearly 60 years on syndication. So just sit right back and let's review. Hold on, let's just do this. Just sit right back and hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this traffic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers said that day for a 3-hour tour, a 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship sat ground the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, a movie star, the professor and Marianne, here on Gilligan's Isle. So this is the tale of our castaways. They're here for a long, long time. They'll have to make the best of things. It's an uphill climb. The first mate and his skipper too will do their very best to make the others comfortable in the tropic island nest. No phones, no light, no motor cars, not a single luxury. Like Robinson Crusoe, it's primitive as can be. So join us here we drink, my friend, we'll sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways here from Gilligan's Isle. Let's first discuss about the original series, but I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of it. I want to make a bigger video on this series on a different time. So I'll just give you the basics with the cast. We have Bob Denver as Gilligan. Also did The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. Alan Hale Jr. as the skipper. Jim Backus as Thurston Howe III. Also did the voice of Mr. Magoo. Natalie Schaefer as Lovely Howell. Tina Louise as Ginger Grant. Russell Johnson as the professor. He also did a couple Twilight Zone episodes where he played smart individuals. And lastly, Don Wells as Marianne. When Sherwood was re-recruiting the actors for the TV movies, Tina wouldn't come back for 2 reasons. 1, she blamed them on ruining her career. And second, she wanted a boatload of money. So they replaced her with Judith Baldwin of the Bold and Beautiful fame. And she does fine. It isn't Ginger Grant, but it's more like her less sexy sister. But with further ado, let's talk about Rescue from Gilligan's Island. It starts with the original season 2 and 3 intro.
A tale of a fateful trip.
Yeah, we ain't doing that again. Also, in preparation, I watched the trivia edition of this film. It gave facts that people who would have watched the 2001 documentary would have known about, but there were some couple of cool ones. Like, John Williams wrote a version of the theme, but they passed on him. It had similarities to Star Trek, like a canceled 4th season and cartoon series that only ran for 2 seasons. Sherwood had plans for a 4th season. There's more, and I will mention a couple of them that I did find interesting. We see Gilligan and the skipper sleeping, but Gilligan wakes up all the castaways to do some foreshadowing.
Well, Gilligan was having another one of his nightmares. And you see, he dreamed that the island was going down into the sea.
Well, let me tell them, huh?
Well, but I'm the skipper.
But it's my nightmare.
11 years later. So, everyone who was part of the original cast is older and, looks the part of being older. But, man, imagine you had to be 43 years old and had to do stunts like you're back in your 30s. My back's just aching thinking about that. Even though I'm only, spring chicken. Before we move on, let's talk about how funny this show is. As I mentioned before, it's semi-funny. The original sitcom maybe had 1/5 of the jokes were funny. Let me give you an example.
With me. All right, Georgie, you hold on to that rope because I'm gonna fish you up like you never been fishing for you.
Please, you can't shoot Gilligan. We were all part of this scheme.
I demand a trial by jury. I'll get the most expensive legal talent. I may even handle the case myself.
Perhaps, Mr. Secretary Treasurer, you'd like to go up there yourself.
I refuse to answer that on grounds that it might tend to incriminate me.
Who did it?
The butler.
Gilligan, we don't have a butler.
I used to watch everything on TV, and it was always the butler.
Gilligan, we don't have a butler.
I remember the case of the wrinkled minx. Everyone thought the maid was guilty.
There is your murder. All right, Gilligan, it is the butler.
We don't have a butler.
And this movie is far better than the series, in my opinion. We cut to a foreign country with deep Russian-type accents that are launching space spyware. But to cover their tracks from America discovering it, they explode it. Yep. They're just like that enemy country from Top Gun, the original movie. So, let's just call them what they really are. Non-Russians. Even though we call them non-Russians, they be Russians. Gilligan then discovers a small metal alloy from the spyware and gave it to the professor, in which he makes a barometer with it.
According to this instrument, there's a raging storm approaching the island.
That's bad.
But it won't get here for a couple of days.
That's good.
A tidal wave that'll completely wash over the island.
That's bad.
However, that wave will be so strong that it could force a boat into the shipping lane so we can finally be rescued.
That's good.
Only we don't have a boat.
That's bad. Or is that good? I lost track.
The professor then tells Gilligan not to tell that the island is about to be hit by a tsunami. And it's Gilligan. And he tells lies on lies and screws everything up. Why does he do this? He knew him for 15 years on this stupid island. It would have been much more simple to tell everyone, but at least this leads to some clever writing.
Mum.
Mum what?
Mum's the word.
About what?
If I told you, it wouldn't be Mum.
Is it serious?
Mum.
Very serious?
Mum.
Very, very serious?
Mum.
Are our lives at stake?
Mum.
To tell us, say something.
Mum.
I'm not your mom, Gilligan.
Well, I'm not your dad either, but speak up, my boy.
Do you know anything about it? You do know something about it.
Well, thanks, Marianne.
You'll never get another piece of my coconut cream pie.
Mom.
Or my banana cream pie.
Oh, Mom.
Or my pineapple cream pie.
Oh, Mom.
They also saved the lore of the series by saying the radio died 10 years ago. This does help with the plot, in which they have to be confused about the presidents and the world changing. But we won't know any of that until the halfway point.
Tsunami. Oh, no, tsunami. What's a tsunami?
Gilligan, that's an Islander word for tremendous tidal wave.
It's a Japanese word. The castaways are going to tie up their huts to make a raft. Hopefully the sharks don't get them this time, like in Season 1, Episode 1.
Fun fact alert, the real names for some of these characters, they apparently have them. The professor is Roy Hinckley, the skipper is Jonas Grumbly, Gilligan's first name is Willie, and Lovely is, sorry if I mispronounced it, Ensis Wentworth. And there was a Western duplicate of the series called Dusty's Trail. Now that is a fun fact.
They then perform some physical comedy genius. The series is better at that than telling actual jokes.
That's it. We can let it down right here.
Let me do it, huh, Professor?
Gilligan, it has to be let down nice and easy.
You can depend on me.
Hey, Gilligan.
Now let me tell you about the types of jokes each character tells. Now, it's not like today where each character could tell a variety of jokes or has signature jokes that just work in with the character and not with the stereotypes. But let me give you an example from modern day. In Ghost US, each ghost would tell a particular joke based on the time period they died in. Alberta would tell 1920s Al Capone type liquor jokes, and what is it, Thorfinn? He would tell Viking jokes. Oh, the Danes! Oh! So, for each character in Gilligan's Island, they told jokes based on the stereotypes they were representing. For Gilligan, it's what young people like, because he was supposed to be 20 years old during the original series. For Skipper, it is Navy trivia and Navy topics, because he's supposed to be representing every male who went into World War II. The Howells is all about money, because they are rich. Ooh. For Ginger, 1960s movie stars, kind of obvious. The Professor is smart words, which anyone could figure out with a dictionary and wasn't playing a joke. And Marion, it is farm topics. So, you know, she grows food, she cooks pies. That's about it.
The storm hits the island, so the castaways tie themselves down.
Don't stop, Gilligan. This is no time to be modest.
Well, I can't.
Just think of me as one of the boys.
Okay. Boy. Oh, boy.
Ember, one of the boys.
Oh, boy.
You tied Ginger.
She's just one of the boys.
Oh, well, think of me as your sister.
Sister. That's a good idea. Yeah. Sister. Oh, brother.
Gilligan goes to find Fifi, Mrs. Howell's dog.
Then you ask, wait, Mrs. Howell has a dog? Well,
Think we'll find her in time?
I doubt it, my dear.
Oh, Thurston, how can you be so cruel? How can you say such a thing?
Lovely, because we didn't take Fifi with us. Don't you remember? We left her at home, on the paper.
We did?
15 years ago.
The castaways are now in the middle of the ocean, where they think Gilligan is dead.
there's a couple things that impressed me about this moment and scene. First off, it looks like they actually filmed partially in the ocean and partially in a really big pool on set. You can even see the reflection of the studio inside the water. Second, at one point, it looks like they're kind of sinking, which is funny. I think that's just funny, you know? And the huts are finally brown. Now, in the original series, the leaves were always green. I guess it was for the black and white viewers that could differentiate the grass part and the bamboo part of the huts. But now they are much more accurate to the Hawaiian ways.
Sorry for so many of the actual story beats. I just couldn't figure out many jokes except for what they had. Tell me, they're pretty funny jokes. Gilligan, after getting rescued, gets caught by a shark, and they look a little bit better than the series, but this segment does last quite a while. See? Like Star Trek. The castaways use their clothes to make a sail, and Gilligan wants to make the crew cooked fish, which causes a fire which alerts the Coast Guard.
Can't believe it. After 15 years, we're finally rescued.
Rescued. Rescued. Rescued.
Rescued.
Rescued.
They make it to Hawaii, which in real life was actually just LA. And it's pretty amazing that most of the people there were just fans of the show, and they probably had to pay a pretty penny for the rest of the sail show. So saving on a couple actors, I think it was a good choice. The governor then comes down to hand them a telegram from the current president.
Jimmy Carter. He's the president now. He succeeded Ford.
Ford who?
Gerald Ford. He came after Watergate.
Watergate who?
Oh, I'm afraid we've been away a long time.
Yes, it seems that everything has changed. I'm certainly glad that some things haven't changed.
Thank you. I'm sure glad things haven't changed either.
Now, this is when the film shifts to mainly being about Gilligan and the skipper seeing everyone's lives after they've been rescued. This is the case because the film was originally shot in two-part serial. One of the parts was them leaving the island, and the other part being the aftermath. And trust me when I say this, the second half is way better than the first half, which just felt like an episode of the series, and the second part feels like the finale the fans never got.
The castaways have a parade in Los Angeles, which the non-Russians see the alloy and plan to retrieve it.
We are ordered to recover this at any cost.
Which leads to a useless subplot, which I feel they can just, spend more time with some of the characters and make a better movie. This is kind of the example with the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie, how that one, if they could have spent more time with characters, it would have been better. But who knows? That made $1 billion.
The skipper and Gilligan are making the middle two when they discover that the insurance needs to prove that the skipper didn't crash the first minnow.
Just think what we missed during the past 15 years. 3 different presidents, astronauts walking on the moon, and miniskirts. We even missed the miniskirts. When we left, women's skirts were clear down to here. While we were gone, they came up to here. Now they're back down to here again. Gilligan, we missed from here to here.
2 things. One, in the original series, it was established that their business was in Hawaii. So what happened to their business for them to be in LA now? In a production look, it's kind of easier for both a story and filming standpoint. They don't have to make film in Hawaii for all of it because that's expensive. And for a story point, Gilligan and Skipper, it's established they're broke, okay? They can't pay off this boat. How are they going to get plane tickets for them all to sign this insurance? So, yeah, just stationing him on the mainland is a bit better. And second, here's a segment of non-Russian dumb. They first go to Ginger, who is disagreeing with the modern producer about the modern take on film, specifically about nudity.
Would you let your wife wear this?
Which wife?
Your daughter?
Now that's hitting below the belt.
Well, that's the problem. There's nothing below the belt or above it.
Again, I feel like Ginger wouldn't act like this because she was much of a seductress. Ooh. But I do like they commentate on the differences in the world that could happen in 15 years. The differences between 1960s film culture and 1970s film culture, or culture in general. And this segment is probably one of the strongest ones, because clearly they had thoughts about this. Clearly the old farts who wrote the original series could see the faults of this new world and want their characters to basically express that.
I've seen a lot of movies since we've been rescued. I saw Star Wars. They have little spaceships with red lights and blinking green lights, and they have this big fight about Jaws, a big shark going around.
Nothing dirty about that picture either.
When did Gilligan and Ginger have the time to watch all those movies? They've been, back a month or a week? They don't really explain it, but that's just been on my mind. How did Gilligan watch all these films? What theater was showing all these films at the same exact time? I don't know. I'm not a historian. They get the paper signed. And go to the professor, who is fending off against females.
Oh, please, you've got to be the homecoming king.
Besides, I thought you girls always elected a romantic figure as homecoming king. How about a movie star? Like, Tab Hunter.
You've got every girl in school turned on.
Turned on?
Oh, he's so macho!
Like this.
Please, Miss Ainsworth, I have work to do.
So have I.
Oh, Miss Ainsworth, turn off your macho!
This is the second best segment because of all the comedy and the commentary that were clearly written by the 60-year-old writers. Currently, the professor is having trouble making inventions because everything he makes, someone else already made it first, and the school is milking him for cash due to his celebrity status. Once again, they get the signature.
Your insurance company is vindictive and ruthless.
No, it's Pacific and Western.
And move down to the Howells, who are still rich.
Yes, lovey. What is it?
I think the ladies would like an ostrich in a minute.
Would they like the mint in San Francisco or the one in Philadelphia?
That's my Thurston.
How are they still rich? How do they still have most of their workers? I have so many questions. Maybe they're not real or real child helped. The Howells are glad to sign the papers, but discover their rich friends are mean to the Gilligan and Skipper.
Who are you?
We are with them.
Then you're out too.
Get out of the way.
The final castaway is Mary Ann, who is getting married to some person named Herbert, who was never mentioned in the series and only made for this movie. But she says that he and her have been waiting 15 years for marriage.
Friends.
You know all of my old friends.
Not these two. One of them, well, so far he's knocked down the bridal bower, 2 rows of chairs, flower arrangement.
Gilligan?
That's his name. And the other one is,
Skipper.
This is probably one of the worst segments, not because it's bad, but mostly because it doesn't have strong commentary or laughs. Now, the last one with the Howells didn't have strong commentary, but did have character growth instead. And Marianne doesn't grow, and her plot was made up for this movie. Probably because they couldn't have a clever commentary or clever say about what her life would have been after she left the island. What can you do about farms or anything else? You could say costs are rising and this is that, but that's not. We didn't discuss that yet, but like economy stuff, that is the kind of plot with the Skipper and Gilligan. So why do it twice? Also, it might be because she's a simple stereotype. Farmers are simple stereotype. I'm not saying farmers are simple. I'm saying the stereotype of them are simple and not complex. The rest of the stereotypes we have could be found as complex when clever commentary is with them, or clever laughs. Marianne didn't have much farm jokes, so she didn't really have a strong, stereotype.
Gilligan and Skipper discovered that Marianne doesn't love Herbert, but her best friend does, and Herbert loves the best friend. So, they engage in a long tractor chase, like the sharks.
You man first love my way over.
Fun fact alert, apparently there was a Gilligan's Island reality show that ran for 2 seasons, and that was a Survivor knockoff? And the last performance of Alan and Bob was on a movie called Back to the Beach, which is a part of a long-running series of movies that's on a beach? Wow, who could have known?
Afterwards, everyone is gathered for a Christmas party, where another insightful comment is made.
Yes, judging by our various experiences, we've had lessons in lust, greed, envy, sloth, anger, gluttony, and pride. The same 7 deadly sins that have always plagued mankind.
Which brings me to something I heard from Sherwood about the series. He designed each of the 7 stranded castaways as 2 things. A microcosmic, I said that wrong, allegory for human society, and a representation of the 7 deadly sins. So Sherwood revealed later in life each character mapped out a sin. The professor is pride. Thurston Howell is greed. Ginger is lust. Marianne, envy. Mrs. Howell, gluttony. The Skipper, anger. And Gilligan is sloth. The social microcosm, he deliberately gathered 7 completely distinct personality types were forced to get along and cooperate because they couldn't escape each other. So this makes Gilligan's Island different from most lazy sitcoms, like Alf, showing they put real thought into each of the characters just for comedy, which is kind of funny if you think about it.
They decide to have another tour to celebrate a little bit more before they leave. But then we have the conclusion of the non-Russian subplot.
Not interested in money. Good heavens, they must be madmen. If you give that to our government, we get medal. Hold it. I'll take that. FBI.
I want you to know that the government is greatly in your debt.
Why not? The government's greatly in debt to everyone else, too.
They launch the ship, which once again, the weather started getting rough. The castaways were thrown back to the island to set up for 2 sequels, where
castaways use a broken plane called the Minnow 3, but crashed it, alerting the Coast Guard to discover the island, which the Howells make into a resort, and the Minnow 4, which is the only ship that isn't destroyed, is now just a charter ship. And, well, I'm telling you this because it's almost impossible to find and watch the other two TV movies. So, is this movie worth watching? Well, it's complicated. If you're a fan of Gilligan's Island, sure, it serves as a better finale than the show ever gave. And it's also virtually anywhere to watch because they have no copyright protection for distribution. My bad. But for those of the average Joe variety, I would say the second half would be the most entertaining part, but you wouldn't really feel or care about each of the characters, even with the context explained through the song and throughout the movie. You just wouldn't really, enjoy it as much as some others would. But who am I to tell an average Joe what they can or can't like? You're an average Joe. People are average Joes. They have their own preferences. Let it be. So, if I had to give it a rating, 5 out of 5 stars for the fans, and 3 out of 5 for average Joes. That gives you at least a 50% chance of liking this movie. I don't have much to say, except it was funny, and it's better than what I was expecting. I was expecting this movie just to be mostly made up of clips. I thought it was going to be a clip show. I was surprised that it wasn't. I'm happy for it. And I just had a really good time. Not much commentary about this movie during this last part. Just really good, and I'm glad that Gilligan's Island, for a time, was successful. So, those are my thoughts of Rescue from Gilligan's Island. What are your thoughts? If you haven't checked it out, it's okay. If you want to waste around 90 minutes, it's a good time. I'm Doc Analog. Subscribe if you made it this far. And this has been Just Review. Alright, what's up guys? I'm back in the editing bay, and well, this is my second take in doing this. I don't usually take more than one take for these studio logs, but a lot has happened between the last two videos in which when I recorded that studio log, it didn't really represent what's going on right now. So let's talk about what's going on right now. I'm going to probably have to edit this a little bit. My hat's not the straightest right now. So, let us see. Monetization. It's gone up. As you may know, most of monetization has gone up in the last couple of days. Now you need to have 8,000 watch hours in combination with 1,000 subscribers to start getting paid. I will be releasing longer videos, as you know from the poll, which I will get to that in just a minute. But gonna have to make longer videos. Got to get more people. At 1,000 subscribers, I'm considering making a Patreon because you might not know this, but my original video of Unearthly Child, it was so bashed by the BBC. There was a first cut. It's not really as much different. There's a couple differences, but not a whole awful lot. So I might have that on the Patreon. Maybe. If I'm able to get to that. So, next. Right, short films. If we get past, say, 500 subscribers, I will post short films that I did when I had done before to show you, because I made this whole big stink about the Incredible Hulk, and you're like, I can write for it, me, and I'm like, wait, they don't know, they only know this, and seriously, and I'm the guy that puts on the hat, and I'm just like, and I don't even have my hair correct today because it's so humid. But anyway, wondering why I'm hiding my eyes. It's a whole thing, okay? So, it's a joke. Just like it like that, all right? Now, another thing I've probably never mentioned before, but, I want to make my own shows and stuff, indie or not, so think I'm just going to say something about PBS and how I want to pitch them. I have a couple ideas. So if PBS, you know, 1 in a billion years want to do anything, to do the same thing that Universal didn't do, and go to my business email. But anyway, green screen and mic. So in this video, I have that brief moment. So first of all, I don't have a green screen. I don't have a good mic. So before I do the videos on the poll, I will get those, okay? I will 100% get those things. So, you know, if I do want to I can just put myself on the green screen. And then Mike, you can sound super audio, whippity-doo. So, let's see. All right, so this video took a very long time to make, not because of my editing or whatnot, or because I went on vacation. The power went out. You know, big storm came my way and blew up the substation. So I was without power for a couple days. So, but now we have it. I was able to make it, and now I'm redoing this. So, I think we spent too much time talking about logistics. I think it's time to talk about the poll. In this trailer, these will be the next videos for Doc Analog!
For the Fans, Volume 1, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and the bonuses are JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and My Hero Academia Vigilante. For a total of 19 videos and 4 compilation videos. We will cover all the material up to 2026. Covering each episode by episode and film by film, analyzing and giving points. Doc's greatest film trilogy. It's a mad, 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 mad world. The good, the bad, and the ugly. 7 Samurai. And for the bonuses, a lot of anime. Akira. Your Name. Spirited Away. Each one getting its own dedicated video for a total of 6 videos. Each one an hour long, exploring the history and the film itself. And with a total of 1 compilation video. For the last one, Doc's favorite anime. Galaxy Express 3-9. Hajime no Ippo The Fighting. And the bonuses are the Galaxy Express movies and the rest of the Hajime no Ippo series. In a total of 9 videos and 4 compilation videos, we'll cover all the material they've had ever for film and television. Each one episode by episode or movie by movie, making comparisons to the manga and many, many more, and what impact they created to this world.